Ah, special delivery. In here, I think we have an updated version of a very popular Casio that I reviewed about 2 or 3 years ago. Let's pop it open and see if I'm right or wrong. Now, I am expecting a couple of different parcels, so I could easily be wrong here. No, we are good. And this model is one from the Edifice line, which has some of the best value for money, I'd say, in the Casio lineup at the moment. And this codename may be familiar to you if you watch any of my stuff on Ben's Watch Club. There we go, I'll switch my microphone on now. EFR-S108D. This is a watch we've reviewed before, just not quite this one. In here we've got one of several new colours of this watch, which has normally only been available in black for like the last few years. I've gone for a green one, as you can see here. This particular watch is interesting for a few reasons. Unlike many affordable Casios, this one is using sapphire. It's got decent 100 meters worth of water resistance. And like many of the Edifice models, it's got a really nice case finishing. You can clearly see the Genta-inspired design there with the screws and that, and the octagonal bezel. But it is still an original watch. And to be honest, with the last one of the main things that let it down was the dial. And I can tell you here, straight out of the box, this one looks way better than the standard black one. Now, the original EFR-S108D just had a simple vertically grained black dial, and it looked alright, and it was somewhat interesting, but this green colour is a typical like radial sunburst instead, and it definitely looks a lot more high-end. And this watch is also still super sleek and slim, which is one of the reasons this watch was so popular. And one of the reasons I wanted to take a look at this watch is because I have also got my hands on this one. Now, this one is the EFB-S108, and they look pretty similar, and I wanted to just really refamiliarize myself with this one. And yeah, I think it looks much better, especially in this new color. It looks killer. Now, as with many sapphire watches, this one isn't the best with reflections, especially on camera. In person, it is clearer than on camera, but cameras, they aren't as good as the human eye, so it doesn't do it justice. In some ways, the nice colouring but subtlety reminds me of the Orient Mako Sport. That one had a nice like pink purple dial. This instead has like a subtle forest green kind of colour, and it looks awesome. So yeah, this is a really good pickup, especially considering the availability of the black version seems to be restricted at the moment. I hope they haven't discontinued that one, but even if they have, this version looks much better. Also comes in blue, and they've got a Tiffany blue as well. So there's a few to go at. I'll link them all in the video description. But yeah, I'm really glad I went for this green. I actually legit might keep this watch. The only reason I didn't before is because the dial wasn't super popping for me, and also the lug to lug, because it's got these whatever effectively fixed end links on the bracelet here. The lug to lug is relatively long, and as such it's never been the best fitting watch on my wrist, although this does fit better than the EFB, so I'm glad that I've rechecked this watch because it does fit small wrists better. This is already a contender for revamp of the year. I know that they also added new dials onto a few of their other models too, such as that kind of PRX clone that I reviewed a while back, as well as the Datejust, their fake Datejust made of brass. This one is definitely the most interesting, no doubt. So for those not up to speed with the sizing, here's a quick catch up. I'll go with kind of like the bezel size here. It's probably the most representative, 38.2. At its widest point with the kind of bulges in the crown, it is 41.4, but I'd say it wears more like a 39mm watch really. Lug to lug is technically under 45mm, but because of those fixed end links, it's a little bit bigger than that really. It says here just shy of 50mm. It is tapered at least, so that's something. The main downside of this watch is just incredibly restricted bracelet options. You can at least change it out on some other watches, but what you're really going to fit in a gap that small, it's tiny. It's about 16mm. I can't quite get in there, but yeah, not many options of that size.